In the immediate aftermath of World War II, as the triumphant Allied powers faced a rapidly shifting geopolitical landscape, Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, conceived an audacious plan to confront the Soviet Union. Dubbed Operation Unthinkable, this covert strategy aimed to check the growing influence of Joseph Stalin and the spread of communism into Eastern Europe. This video explores the genesis, details, and implications of Churchill's plan during a critical juncture in the early years of the Cold War. As the dust settled after World War II, Churchill, who had been a staunch ally of the Soviet Union during the conflict, became increasingly alarmed by the aggressive posturing of Stalin. The Iron Curtain that descended across Europe, dividing the continent into Eastern and Western spheres of influence, fueled Churchill's apprehensions about Soviet expansionism. 2. Operation Unthinkable takes shape. In the summer of 1945, as tensions escalated between the Western Allies and the Soviet Union, Churchill ordered the development of a contingency plan to confront the Soviets militarily. The plan, codenamed Operation Unthinkable, was drawn up by British military planners and envisioned a scenario where Allied forces would engage Soviet forces in Eastern Europe. 3. Scope and objectives. The primary objectives of Operation Unthinkable were to contain Soviet influence, safeguard Western interests, and, if necessary, roll back Soviet forces from recently liberated Eastern European territories. The plan sought to capitalize on the demobilization of German troops and utilize them as part of a coalition force against the Soviet Red Army. 4. Strategic considerations. The planners of Operation Unthinkable faced significant challenges. The demobilized German forces were seen as a potential liability, and the logistics of coordinating a multinational coalition were daunting. The plan also considered the potential use of nuclear weapons, which were still in their infancy but had demonstrated devastating potential in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. 5. The unthinkable scenario. The hypothetical scenario envisioned a surprise attack on Soviet forces in Germany, Poland, and other Eastern European countries. The plan acknowledged the formidable strength of the Soviet military, but hoped that a sudden offensive could exploit potential weaknesses and create divisions among the Soviet leadership. 6. Reactions from allies. When Churchill presented Operation Unthinkable to his American counterparts, including President Harry S. Truman, there was a mixed response. Truman, while acknowledging the Soviet threat, was wary of initiating a new conflict so soon after the end of World War II. The United States favored diplomatic efforts to contain Soviet expansion rather than military confrontation. 7. Abandonment of Operation Unthinkable. As tensions between the Western Allies and the Soviet Union persisted, Operation Unthinkable was gradually shelved. The complexities of executing such a plan, combined with the reluctance of the United States and other allies to engage in direct military conflict, led to the abandonment of Churchill's audacious scheme. 8. Impact on Cold War dynamics. While Operation Unthinkable never materialized, its existence highlighted the deep-seated anxieties among Western leaders regarding Soviet intentions. The plan, even in its theoretical stages, influenced subsequent strategic thinking during the early years of the Cold War, shaping the development of NATO and other defense alliances. 9. Churchill's evolving perspectives. Winston Churchill, a key architect of the Allied victory in World War II, found himself on the sidelines of British politics by 1945. His advocacy for a tough stance against the Soviet Union reflected a deep concern for the future of Europe and the principles for which the Allies had fought during the war. 10. Legacy of Operation Unthinkable. Operation Unthinkable remains a historical curiosity, an illustration of the anxieties and uncertainties that characterized the early years of the Cold War. While the plan was never enacted, its legacy can be seen in the shaping of post-war alliances, the nuclear arms race, and the geopolitical strategies that defined the decades-long standoff between the East and the West. Conclusion. Operation Unthinkable stands as a testament to the complex geopolitical landscape that emerged in the aftermath of World War II. Churchill's audacious plan, while ultimately deemed unfeasible and abandoned, reflects the strategic uncertainties and shifting alliances that marked the early years of the Cold War. The legacy of Operation Unthinkable reverberates in the annals of military history, underscoring the delicate balance of power that defined the post-war era.